Hello, all. Hello, Jamanuel. Hello, Dagoo. Hello, Pad, Florida State. Trish, Stan, Sluggo, Kukla. Let's see who else. Like Minds, Grandma, Evie, Blake, Barefoot. Did I already say Barefoot? I think. I don't know. It all run together, isn't it, Ray? Hello, Pecky Pappenberg. Hello, Miss Annie from Kiwi Land Down Under. Wait, it's dark. It's not more. Yeah, right? When did that happen? Hello, Jeff Freezy. Hello, B Hoot. Flying Squirrel. Ann's here. Good to have you in the house. Hello, Clint. Gary, always a pleasure, along with Tahoe. Paul, I'm here. Hello, James. Good to see you, sir. Hello, Just Relax. Fear off. What's up? Howdy, howdy. Good to see you, sir. Hello, Real Tom. Always a pleasure. Frank. Ron, Southern California. Oh, Rhonda. My bad. Hello, Wade and Apocalyptic. Hello, Miss Laney. Lady Ebb. Wait, what are we doing? Let's see. Southwest PA cold. Oh, I bet it is. Folks up north, bundle up. Bundle up. As we wrap up 2025, it's a good time to slow down and reflect on the year. If there's one thing we've all learned is that uncertainty isn't temporary. It's the world we live in now. Waiting for things to go back to normal isn't a plan. It's a gamble. For over a decade, my friends at Noble Gold Investments helped Americans protect themselves and people they love by diversifying their wealth with gold and silver. Look, no one knows what 2026 will bring, but one thing's for certain. In an uncertain world, real wealth isn't digital, it's physical, it's lasting, it's yours. So when you're sitting around the table this holiday season, surrounded by family, remember the best gift you can give isn't under the tree, it's peace of mind. And that's what Noble Gold delivers. Peace of mind, 1 ounce at a time. Before the year ends, take one smart step towards a safer future. You can find them at MarkZGold.com or NobleGoldInvestments.com and get your free wealth protection kit today. Don't leave your future to chance. The link is in the description. Yeah, poor animals up north. Don't forget your animals. Also, keep in mind that most of those animals survived for millennia before we started having nice heated homes. Be reasonable, but you know what I mean. Bob, that's not even worth the comment. I'll let everybody else deal with that one. Hello, Colleen. Snowing in Show Low, Arizona. Steelers fan, it's been a tough time to be us. It's time for some healthy. No, it's just time to. Well, where do we even go with that one? We need a lot. Mostly, we need to make a quarterback change, and probably a coaching change, and then the quarterback change would have already happened. Ah. Mira, nice and hot in Maui. Yeah, we sure do. Yeah. Thing about Steelers fans, even in a good season, bad season, we're still Steelers fans. We don't leave the games early. We're not like pretty much every other team in the NFL, but Green Bay. I know, boy, I'm upsetting people today. The worst time to be a Bengals fan. Yes, it is. Scooter, you're not muted. No, I don't have a Land Rover. I wouldn't mind a Land Rover. Had some in the past. We used to use them in Africa all the time, the Defender. Would love to have one. Love to have one here. Oh, Thomas Ziegler. Bill stands for I love losing Super Bowls. I felt so bad when they had Jim Kelly. I mean, great Katanning, Pennsylvania boy, but I felt so bad. Would he go to 4 or 5 Super Bowls and lose every one? It was unreal. Great quarterback though, but woo, tough. Yeah, no, Kook Live. I don't want to have one good season every 50 years. And they do look pretty good this season, but they're the Bears. They'll look like crap next season. Certain teams you just don't want to sign into. Daisy, it does have links. Both of them should have links. Could be a Vikings fan and never win a so I guess there is that. Oh, philanthropic. I don't want to hear any complaining, folks. I've been a Raiders fan since second grade. I'm 56. Philanthropic. You were right. I will not try to compete with that ever. All right, let's do the news so we can wrap up. We've got Whiskey and Wisdom time. I'm looking forward. There's a chance. They all have the links. Links have been sent. You don't have to ask me. There's a chance we're going to get Andy, his son Josh, and his father this evening popping in. Send it to Matt and Lucas too, just in case they want to jump in and share a story. Try being a Cowboys fan. At least you got a little going for you. All right, let's get to the news we have. They are beating this into our heads in Iraq right now for some reason. I think I know the reason, because they're getting ready to go asset backed and they want to show everybody how stable, and they got so much gold backing them. Iraq purchases an extra 8+ tons of gold in 2025. Just a little brief update. They are pounding that in the news though right now, and I think very much we know the reason why. I forgot to put up the banner. I am getting a lot of bond chatter. Some very, very, very hopeful folks that have popped up in the last few hours. They are hearing from their update calls that they may get their funding this week, last 2 days of the week. So just leave it out there as a rumor for now, but everybody's going to ask. I don't have what I consider a really solid update until I get that update that I am expecting hopefully I'll have it in time for tomorrow morning's podcast. I got 2 folks with bond meetings going on in first thing. Well, it'll be first thing our time because of the time difference. Iraq seeks active membership in the World Customs Organization, but also the World Trade Organization, as they have been applying those world standards, heading towards effective international membership. ISCUDA, they've done everything they need. They want us to know that they are now seeking or whatever membership in both of those. And I think the World Customs Organization one is very important. We hear about the World Trade. We talked about that one a lot, but the WCO, that's kind of a new conversation unless you've been following Just Militia Man. But that's a big one for international trade. That's a big one for the development road. It's a big one for money coming back and forth, and also for finished petroleum products, and other products. But I think this is a real sign as to just how close we are in that ascension. Oh, hey, look, you got a little me down in the corner. Let's get rid of that guy. Iraq comments on the end of UNAMI mission. This also dominated the news cycle. The reforming of the banks to world standards, that played a lot. The digital dinar played a lot. We shared a lot on both of those this morning. I continue as you circle back to this one, and stories developed throughout the day. They started having a little more meat in them, talking about the news phase with the ending of that mission, how they are going to be working with countries around the world, helping make the Middle East stable, becoming a financial juggernaut in the Middle East. I think there's a lot more to this one. I mean, they're if you're reading those articles, the Iraqi people, politicians, and the folks writing the articles sound like they are basically giving the nod to an entire new Iraq and wealth. When you read these about what they are, where they're headed, and the termination of it, which is happening, they say this month it is done. So that one, those excite me today. Regas from Herbal. We will work to prevent militias from undermining stability in Iraq. We're going to the opening of the consulate there. Biggest, baddest in the world. $800 million. I want $800 million someday soon. But they want to know that we are U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Michael Regas confirmed that his country announced, meaning the U.S., we are working with Iraqi partners to prevent militias from undermining the country's stability, that we're working hard. We also had a number of Iraqi politicians commenting today how they are working with the U.S. and the United Nations to remove all of the militias, especially those associated with Iran and their influence out of the country. That's been one of the sticking points I was told from letting this thing go. So when I read these stories, it's another one of those makes you feel good. I'm going to take the news time banner off moving forward from the next one or two, but I think they very much have a lot to do with our anticipated reset. The next two, especially. Let's see. I'm hearing things are escalating from my own contacts. Feel very good. Things come on the heels after Christmas, closer to January. But then again, we don't know. Things do look great, GG, and it's escalating. But now we need it to go past just the fun talk. All right, the next two, which I really do think are big, and we keep seeing this more and more organizations, outlets are commenting Trump is having more conversations with people close to him about this one. And it appears the plan's been in place a long time, which really makes me think Nasser Jasser. Trump suggests he'll soon dump income tax, get rid of it. Signaled Tuesday again. Guys, yesterday, signaled it again. Time to get rid of this income tax. You're not going to be paying it soon. You're not going to have it. You're not going to have an income tax to pay. Why are we worried about this? We're not going to have it. Does that not sound like something we've been waiting for? And he's talking about as if this deal is already done. Screaming reset to me. And speaking of screaming of reset, an absolutely epic Glenn Beck that was released earlier today. I don't know if you all have seen this short, but I'm hoping you will take 10 minutes, although the first 3 or 4 minutes is all you're going to need to hear. But it talks about the fundamentals, where the world is at, and how we are going to have to reset. The question is, what's that reset going to look like? We're going to be able to control that, and I think this is very important because we will be able to control that coming out of this reset. What are we going to do? Are we going to make it worse? Are we going to keep fiat? Are we going to go to assets? How are we going to behave when we become the people worth money? I just cannot suggest this one enough for folks. Let me put it there. I thought about playing it and getting removed later for the content violation. But I guess it's probably easier for me to post a link, you guys to go watch it, and then let us discuss it. Glenn lays it down. I swear he has been watching and listening to our podcast. He's been watching Andy Scheckman when he's been on or something. I don't know. He starts talking about the fundamentals. He's talking about exactly what we have been talking about of late, and especially within the last 4 or 5 days. I mean, it's wiggy. I'd like to think, for those that don't know, I'm a bit of a Glenn Beck fan. I think he hits it straight. I think it offends a lot of people. People think he's kookier than he is because he tells it exactly the way it is. And I think he has a tremendous gift at looking through the BS. So when I watch this one today, I'd be honored if he's watching my podcast, but it's probably just he's really good at seeing through the BS. My mom and dad love Glenn Beck. Yeah, no, he's fantastic. So I'm going to drop that link again in hopes that some of you folks will watch it and share it because it gets into the fundamentals. Your reset's coming no matter what. We don't know the timing, but you can look at those and you can tell that the timing is close. How close is the question? There is no escaping this death spiral. And he brings up a great point. How it is all the major countries in the world have hit this spiral and the stages. He goes through the stages that it takes, this historic cycle. He goes through some of the key stages. He keeps them very simple to understand. These are things that we have been talking about in depth for the last few years, and especially in the last few weeks as these fundamentals speed up and accelerate. Get Dr. Harris. Yeah, how's history going to remember the person that screamed early? Like Glenn, but he's a lot of fear and doom. He is a lot of fear and doom. But then I back up and I look at all the people that called things a little early. They were absolutely right. But until they were right, until that moment, everybody said, yeah, but he's spreading a lot of fear and whatever. I'm hoping some people are paying attention to Glenn. I think about like Michael Burry in 2007. Nobody listened to him when he bailed on the market. They ridiculed him, joked, doom, gloom. Yeah, he's smart, but come on, man. And then every one of them were wishing, and they're like, man, he should have screamed harder. He should have given us more doom and gloom. Maybe we would have listened. I think that's Glenn. I think a lot of people are going to back up after and go, I wish I'd have paid better attention to Glenn. But Glenn is also an optimist at the same time. He's like, look, we got the power here. This is what they're throwing against us. I'm being brutally honest with what they're throwing against us. Now, it's up to us to how we react to it. And I'm with Glenn on that one. Surfer, I'm with you. I've always loved Glenn Beck. Watch every episode when he was on Fox. It was so interesting watching Glenn go from a mainstream conservative newscaster to his eyes wide open when he was at Fox. It was awesome. I know he was going through a lot of stuff, personal sobriety, things like that. He's human. That's one of the things I like most about him. He's been there. He's been human. He's lived the ups. He's lived the down. He's torpedoed his life. He's built it back. I appreciate that. All right, just one or two more so that we can call it a wrap. The FDA investigation into child deaths and COVID-19. What? The COVID-19 vaccine. What do we know so far? Well, it appears that they have 10 documented cases where it was a contributing factor or played a role in the death of minors. I remember some other attempts at vaccinations in the past where one death was enough to stop it worldwide. It doesn't bring any of those family members back or any of those children back. And this is just children. This doesn't count the elderly. It doesn't count everybody else. But I'm just hoping we can get back to science. And I know it's come late for a lot, and we went through a lot in this one, but it certainly helps to feel a little vindicated knowing that they're really, truly looking at this and discussing it and the science and what happened. Ellen, Glenn pays at least $1 million of his own money for personal security. I don't blame him. I wish I had it to pay for mine, but it would be handy. That's the world we live in. Speaking the truth means you have to have security to protect you. That's sad. She saw people. Oh, that one. I didn't really mean to include that one. I don't want to add salt to an open wound, but they saw people getting away with it. How Minnesota's Somali fraud exploded. A deep dive on the fraud in the years and how long it's been going on, and the media's work at covering it up when it first broke years ago. Would anybody have considered Tim Walz for governor if you would have known for years into his administration? We're going back. I'm trying to remember when he came to power. I think beginning of COVID, but I mean, even in 2022, they were investigating in scandals and news stories would break, and then they would suddenly disappear and get leaned on. It's almost like fabricated, made for TV and central casting, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. I think somebody was paying attention. My thoughts about Glint. Oh, I like Glint. I think it has tremendous potential. Just got to remember it's coming out of the gate. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Elohim is eternal life. Oh, I'll buy that one. All right, last one. Yeah, okay. I'm told there's one comment that says, oh, yeah, I'm leaving it. House Democrats released selective, never before seen Epstein Island pictures in a video. Breaking, the oversight Democrats have received never before seen. They're breaking it, man. They're cutting edge. If you ever noticed, and well, one, some selectively added nothing against Trump in this one, but they want the world to think that they're first to release all these things. Doesn't matter Trump administrations released 50-some thousand pages, all kinds of photos. But they're going to put this is a publicity stunt by them. I mean, one, I want the truth. I want every one of these human trafficking, pedophile scumbags removed. Who want it? Any rational, logical, moral thinking person would want justice. But they're showing some of these photos. To me, it just stinks. Like, what do we need to avoid now? What are we distracting from now? What's the latest? Yeah, now they want to deliver justice to survivors. I mean, you're probably going to have to go after some of your own. But hey, if there's any Republicans in that one, I really want you to go after them. I want you to clean that house. Yeah, even the pictures and some of these never released photos had the NYPD in their gear inside of Epstein's estate in Little St. John's in the Virgin Islands. Wonder how they got to go do that one. Wash, rinse, repeat. They are just common. And, if that doesn't work, try to smear Trump. If that doesn't work, scream racism. If that doesn't work, scream environment. If that doesn't work, call in the aliens. Because they've tried to pull the pandemic one again a couple of times and just people refuse to bite. Houston, thank you. December to remember. I really think this is our December. Really think this is it. I think we're that close. Could be into January, but I really do. We'll see where we're at. Because none of us know. Somebody knows, just not us. All right, folks, I'm calling it a wrap so I can take a quick break, eat a quick bite, and be back for whiskey and wisdom. Don't know how much wisdom we're going to have, but I'm looking forward to a little whiskey. Good at. Bye, guys.